serious guy when he came to tournaments. And sometimes, us as coaches, we'd have to reel him in a little bit, when he, get after some of the other fighters outside of the ring. And I said a few words to him, and he took it personal, And then later on that evening, we were at a U.S. tournament. Later on that evening, we both happened to be walking through the same area, dark area, no lighting, like an alley almost. And we stopped in the center and just looked at each other. And he had both his fists balled up. And he was like, looking at me like, whatever you're going to do, I'm going to do it too. And I just looked at him and I thought to myself, nah, I'm going to just walk away from this one. And he knows it to be true. And that's the only guy that I can ever say in my life. A lot of situations that stood right there with me like that.
Probably with dudes bigger than him, too.
I was a lot bigger than him. He was fighting at 130 pounds at that time. He didn't back down, did he?
How old was he at that time? Was he a teenager still? Or?
19, 20 years old. Yeah, he's a real one.
Did Shawn ever, do you remember any sparring between him and Shawn back in the day? When they were...
No, different weight classes.
Right.
Lot different. I mean, I first met Bud at 14, 15 years old at a national tournament.
What's that?
Yeah, hey, it's on now. Hey, it's on now, baby. It's gonna be great. Terrence Crawford, we've been talking for a long time about this fight.
I already fought one of the two of y'all fighters.
Oh, you beat him.
Stop trying to make it seem like I ain't fought none of y'all fighters.
Who he look like, man? He's like a nephew.
I'm happy.
Cordy, that's not his hand down. He was on the hands.
Let me send a note to you.
Take your hands.
Fix my hands.
She's been Floyd for all the years. She want to take that Floyd. She took that Floyd on me. I got dynamite and destruction.
You with the one and only boxing guru, a.k.a. Wilder Hater. For this episode, Under the Microscope. With 1 week to go, it's getting critical. Both fighter needs a win because they're getting close to the end. With both being 34, a loss would be a major setback, and that's for sure. With Bud being the favorite to win, here are my key victories. First of all, this can't be a top-ranked prank. In my opinion, what a top-ranked prank is, Top Rank is the major promoter of the fight. They bring the fighter over, pay him a lot of money to make their fighter look good. In my opinion, they did that with Amir Khan, but a lot of people would say Bud could beat Amir Khan. Amir Khan couldn't beat Bud. But like I said, they paid Amir Khan a crazy amount of money for it. They brought Cal Brook over, paid him a lot of money. Then they was talking about Shawn Porter wasn't worth $1 million. It wasn't going to sell on pay-per-view and different things of that nature. Then now they paying Shawn P a bunch of money. So I'm just hoping this is a real fight, because between two black African Americans, usually they have to get it the hard way. Blood, sweats, and tears. They definitely has to earn it. They definitely has to get in there and fight. So I don't believe this going to be a top-ranked prank in this instance, because both of these fighters definitely is hungry at the age of 34. There's no room for no more stakes, no more. Shawn definitely can't fumble the ball like Ernest Biner did back in the championship against the Denver Broncos. So it's very important that Kenny P and Shawn P listen to me for his key to victory. First of all, it starts with this. The first thing Shawn has to do is not the art of boxing, but Shawn definitely has to come out in a boxing stance, a traditional boxing stance, but aggressive traditional boxing stance. What I mean by that, I want Shawn to double jab his way in. Even though his jab don't land, you want to double jab because you want to keep something in front of Bud. You want Bud to think if he comes in too close, jabs is coming at him. And then I want Shawn Porter to move his head like a bob and weave, but with a jab, behind the jab. You want to be able to slip the jab like I'm doing right here, because it's going to be very critical and it's going to be enticing for the longer arm Bud Crawford with 74-inch arms to come in. So if he misses target of Shawn Porter would be able to strike and counter strike Bud, because Shawn Porter is double jabbing his way in. And then he'll be in the stance to drop a right hand on Bud. So those, the first things is going to be very critical for Shawn P and Kenny P to understand this if they want victory. It's very critical, because what it's going to do is going to nullify Bud from able to jump in and out when he wants to. Because Bud is going to try to time Shawn, because he knows Shawn with his shortness, you know, it could play a disability against Bud, because Bud is the natural taller fighter. So Bud is naturally going to want to step back, and Bud definitely can do that. Bud definitely can move around the ring better than, you know, Earl Spence, in my opinion. Only one who moves better, in my opinion, at 147 is Keith One-Time Thurman, because Keith definitely has good movement as a welterweight. He can dance. So Bud can move also. So that's why it's going to be very key for Shawn P to double jab in the boxing stance. So if Bud do anything, you know, out of the ordinary, try to come forward too much or come with a body shot or anything like that, Shawn will be able to drop right hands or jabs on it and close the distance, because it's going to be very vital that Shawn be able to close the distance and get close to him so Shawn can roughhouse Bud before Bud has a chance to react and change up, because Bud like to change up from orthodox to southpaw. So with Shawn coming aggressive in a boxing stance and pushing Bud back, he will be able to counteract Bud's movement. And then you will be able to place him in a vulnerable spot. So that's the number one key. And then the number two key, once Shawn P closed the distance, he has to land the target. The target is very important. It's not just Bud's head at first. You want to be able to touch Bud. You want to be able to touch him in the arms, the shoulders, anywhere. You got to have a higher percentage. Because Shawn P's punch stats percentage been real low against some of the top fighters. He throws a lot of punches, but he has to land the target, because this going to be vital to offset Bud, and what's going to be vital, Bud won't be able to counter him. Because if Shawn P is landing, hitting the body and the arms, he naturally going to bring his arms back to protect himself. Because the target, he going to be able to block a lot of Bud hooks, because Bud definitely got good hooks. He like to turn you into a hook. So, but if Shawn P try to lunge in with a over-the-top head hunting shots, Bud can slip in and counter him with uppercuts or a hook or something like that. So it's very critical. Shawn placement definitely got to land the target to help him out on defense against Bud. Because even though Bud hasn't been fighting the top echelon of fighters, he definitely has the mechanics of a good fighter, because he can move and punch. He can move off the back foot. So it's very tricky. And even the art of boxing support Bud as being the victor. But with Shawn P follow these keys, he will lead him to victory. So it's very important that Shawn and Kenny understand this, because we got 12 whole rounds. Shawn definitely, number 3, he definitely don't have to lunge in from too far. He got to work, don't have to do that, because Bud is always looking to step back and counter him. So it's very critical that Shawn and Kenny understand this. Do not be over anxious to get in there and mix it up with Bud. Believe in the art of boxing and the boxing stand. Double jab. Just because you're the shorter fighter, it doesn't mean you can't be effective. Mike Tyson out-jabbed a lot of those guys because he slipped a jab and came back with straight punches. Because as they come forward, you go forward, but you move your head and move the target. And then Gamboa was doing beautiful work against Bud. Excellent work. And Gamboa is 5'5". So you can beat Bud to the punch I've seen it time and time again. So it's very critical that Shawn and Kenny P understand this if they want victory. So it's very critical because, like I said, as the fight wears on, Bud will turn it into a doghouse. If Shawn been doing the necessary work by landing to the arms, to the shoulders, it definitely will play a major part in Shawn, pulling his victory out. So I'm definitely going to be rooting for Shawn. And then what Shawn has to do, fourthly, he didn't do this that good against Earl. When he was very successful against Earl, he did it 1 or 2 times. I want Shawn to reset. What I mean by that is, once he get off and get a couple good punches, he got to anticipate Bud turning and getting getting his position better. So what Shawn gonna have to do is then turn into the matador. He gonna have to make the taller fighter Bud becomes the bull. Let Bud start chasing him down. And plus that'll give Shawn enough time to catch a breath, because he has to do so much based on his height and reach. And then that will give him enough time to control the clock. I call it my Dean Smith of boxing 4-corner stall. You move around the ring, you relax, you get yourself together. So it's very critical that Shawn P understand this. He definitely has to listen to me if he wants victory. And so this would change the dynamic of the fight. It would take the art of boxing away from Bud because you done made him uncomfortable, because you're not playing his game, staying on the outside, jumping in from too far. So Shawn P definitely has to be on top of this if they want victory. I definitely will be rooting for Shawn, like always. I'm interested to see this fight because I will be in attendance for this fight next week at the Mandalay Bay. Shawn P, key to victory.
Subscribe to me if you want more of the Boxing Guru Show.
Come get it. 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 Come get it.